Hi, Eric Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today I'm going to tell you why I think that camera makers need to kill art to survive. Let's start. So I was really happy to record outdoor, but it starts raining, so I'm going to carry on recording in the van. And that makes me laugh when people tell me, yeah, it's always sunny in Tenerife, in the Canary Islands. No, it's not always sunny, sometimes it rains. Not as much as in other places, okay, but it does rain sometimes, okay? So when I make that kind of video, like today's video, some people get offended because they don't agree with what I said and they start insulting or lacking of respect and they think I just attack them. No, I don't tell anything to attack anyone. I'm not against anyone. Simply I say what I think and you may think different, and actually you completely allowed to have different opinion, and you're invited to write it in comment below, and if you don't agree, tell your point, and that's it. We don't need to kill each other, okay? We just speak, and that's it. And so let's carry on and not kill each other if we disagree on this, okay? When I speak about camera brands is actually when the passion comes out and people start arguing with me. Well, actually, I'm not in favor of any brand or against any brand. I'm not wed to any brand, okay? So what I'm going to tell is just my opinion and analyzing about the situation. I think there are three brands that actually have this policy of killing art, which are Sony, Canon, and Nikon. Maybe Pentax, I don't know, because it's really hard to find a Pentax camera nowadays, because really since Rico is selling Pentax, is distributing Pentax, it's really hard to find it where I am and in many places in the world, so I cannot have an opinion. I don't see either advertisement about Pentax. I don't know if they're part of this game or not, okay? So let's speak about Sony, Canon, and Nikon. When you analyze their advertisement, the promotion they make, or anything they speak about via influencers, YouTubers, or advertisement, or ambassadors, they all concentrate on technology. Autofocus, ISO, very high ISO, burst rate, megapixel, sharpness, dynamic range. They speak about this all the time, and which is really funny is that you see that when they present their top of the range cameras, they did before Olympic Games or Football World Championship. Why? Because they need people to see the technology, that with this camera you have an athlete that is jumping, you really capture the picture at the right moment. It's impossible to miss it. You have such a burst rate, so many pictures per second, and the guy is running, when he jumps you capture the exactly right moment. You just pick among all the pictures you make, you pick the right one, okay? Or they explain all this, and really they speak about capturing, and capturing is not making. That's really different. Capturing a picture is like making a photocopy of the surrounding. It's catching reality. Obviously, you need to catch exactly at the right moment. I don't say it's easy. I don't say that action photography is an easy game. But I say that with technology, you can get the picture. Actually, when you look at radar on the road, if you overspeed, okay, they do capture at the right moment. They have your number plate and registration and your face, and they really capture at the right second, and they have the right picture, the perfect picture to find you and to give you a speed ticket, okay? So really, it's no problem. So I think these brands always speak about capturing, not about making. Why do they do that? Because if I show you that this camera helps you capture the right second, the right moment, with the right exposure, with the right everything, it helps to make you feel that your camera is not good enough. So sooner or later you will buy a new camera that is faster, better, capture easier, all this. They convince you that technology is the way to go. And for that, they must forget about art and concentrate on technology. They want you to be concentrated on the fastest, the highest, the whatever that is superlative, and is not related to art but to technology. And this is why all their promotion is around high technology. And really, this is killing art, because people are thinking about capturing reality and not about creating photography, a photo, or making the picture. Okay, so I'm going to develop a bit more on this way, so give you more of my opinion. So to illustrate my my idea, I'm going to speak about to do some parallelism with literature. For example, let's speak about the ISO. They tell you that high ISO is really good to make better pictures. Okay, so let's go to speak with William Shakespeare. Well, in Spanish I spoke about Cervantes, and in French about Molière. So here I'm going to speak about William Shakespeare. Okay, so let's say a paper maker goes to speak with Mr. Shakespeare and tells him, if you use this paper, it doesn't matter if you don't have enough ink on your feather. You can write without much ink, and this paper is so sensitive that it will actually show what you're writing even if you have almost no ink. Very similar to the ISO, more sensitivity. Okay, so Shakespeare will look at the paper maker and say, yes, that's great, I don't need to ink my feather so much, I can write. Okay, and even if I don't have ink, it's still readable. Okay, and then the paper maker says, and that helps you to make better novel, better theater, better writing. All what we'll do will help you give better ideas, better everything. And then Shakespeare will look at the paper maker and says, sorry, but in what way this paper is helping me to have better ideas? Will this paper pick my words? Will this paper correct my syntax and spelling? Will this paper do all that? No. So this paper brings to me commodity. It's more comfortable to write. I don't have to waste so much time putting ink on the feather, because it's still readable even if I don't have much ink or no ink. It's still readable. Okay, so that's fantastic on the technical side of it. But on the creative side of it, what does it do for me? When does it help me? Just never help you. This paper is magical for a technical reason, but not for creative reason. The same thing if you speak to Shakespeare and you tell him, Sir Shakespeare, you should not use a duck feather. You need to use a goose feather. Because if you actually use a duck feather and people know that, you're not serious. You have no credibility. No writer that is at a good level will use a duck feather. They always use goose feather. This is a big mistake. Your image is in game. You cannot use a duck feather. It's impossible. Well, that sounds ridiculous, and it is completely ridiculous. But this is exactly what I hear when some people tell me, I need the latest camera, otherwise people don't take me serious. I need a larger camera, a more expensive camera, a more recent camera, because otherwise I don't look professional. People do not take me serious. Honestly, do you think people will not take serious William Shakespeare if he was writing with duck feather instead of goose feather? We don't even know what he was using. Okay, so really, this is the same thing. So as you can see, this maker always try to get people to the technical side, the capturing side. It's true that technology may help you to be more comfortable, but they make you think it will make better pictures. And this is not true. This will not make better pictures. It may give better image quality, which is the technical side of the image, dynamic range, noise, whatever. But this is not the idea, the framing, the composition, all this, because this part is the photographer who is putting this part. Okay, so centering everything on the technical side of it makes you feel that your camera is not good enough. But to get to that, they lie telling you it will help you make better picture, and that's not true. It will make you better image quality, and this is really different. So in these fantastic cameras that they actually want to sell you, where is art, where is creativity, where is feelings, where is what you want to transmit, to show, to express, where is all that? Well, you are still 100% in charge of it. The camera does not do anything for you about this. You are the person in charge of having the idea, making the picture, framing, anything that is related to art. You're still in charge. But it's really important that you don't know about that, because if you know about that, you realize that probably any camera lets you do some artistic photography. And if you feel this, if you realize you're really in charge, then your camera is not that obsolete. Then you don't feel the latest technology is really a big need for you. You don't think that the latest camera is something that will save your business. So it's really important for them that you don't realize that they will give you commodity, comfort, all that. Yeah, I cannot deny that, okay? But the creative part of it is you're still in charge. So you don't need to spend your money on the latest camera. And they don't want you to know that. They need to kill arts to make sure they survive. Because if you don't buy a new camera, they will not survive. So in this technological world, there are some rebels. There are some rebels that are some brands and some users. So if we look at the brands, some camera makers are not actually pushing the technical side of the story. They tell you more about creativity and art, all this. Some like Olympus or Fujifilm didn't get into the full frame war, for example. Fujifilm is doing some medium format cameras too, but still mainly in APS-C. Olympus just Micro Four Thirds. Panasonic jumped onto the full frame game also. If you look at Ricoh, the cameras are just thought to feel the situation. Street photography, you feel it, you see it, you capture it, but you make the picture, okay? It's a tool to capture what you feel, not just a technical capture, but to transmit what you're feeling, okay? I would say Hasselblad also and Leica. If we look at M Leicas, they're really simple cameras, expensive too, okay? But they're really thought for the photographer to create. It's a simple tool to have nothing to stop your creativity, no button to interfere, all that. When you look at Fujifilm, for example, they've put the film simulation, so people don't actually look for perfection. They actually look for a special look, special aspect of the photo, more artistic side of it. Or if you look at Olympus with artificial intelligence like the live composite, that is ideal for long exposure. The idea is also to help you make something easier, but something that is creative. Because when in real life have you seen the sea that is really silky or a river really silky? Never. It's not real. So they help you create something that does not exist, to adapt it to what you want people to feel. Okay. If you look at long exposure, if I'm in a wood like this and a forest and a small river there, how do I transmit that it was really quiet, really peaceful? Well, maybe stopping the water in a way that it looks really silky. So this is creativity, okay? And then you have the people who are becoming rebel. I realized that for the last 20 years, many people have always used digital photography. They've never tried film photography. So they've been involved into a perfection world where they tell you this camera capture better, do it better, does that better, sharper, all this, all that. And I think they get fed up. They start to realize that the magical side of photography is to make a unique picture. If you take two cameras side by side, taking a picture of the same thing, the picture is exactly the same. So the difference is the photographer. So you need a tool to express what you want to express, to show what you want to show. And you realize that people are not looking for perfection anymore. What they want is something special. And more people are using filters. I speak about physical filters, not Photoshop filters, okay? And they want to have a mist filter, diffusion filters, or long exposure, ND filters, okay, to make long exposure. They want to do something that has nothing to do with reality, but has to do with they want you to feel when you look at the picture. And this is also why so many people are going back to film photography. They like this magical side of it, that you never sure what will come out. You cannot guarantee it will be always the same. Some pictures by Ansel Adams, when you look at it, he printed only 5. He passed on to paper only 5 of this picture. I think it's worth like $4 million, something like this, or $1 million, I'm not sure. And then of the 5, all the same result. The negative was the same, obviously. It was developed to negative, and it was the same. But then when he went to his analog lab, the results are slightly different. It makes it unique. This is magical, and people want to feel this. This is also why more and more people actually doing post-processing in computer, because they want to change the result the camera gave them. I know that so many people say that, yeah, but if you use a computer, this is not photography anymore. This is a computational photography or whatever. I disagree with that. When you look back to Ansel Adams at this picture, you see the original, and when you see what came out of the lab after working on it, it's completely different. It's the same thing what you do in Photoshop if you want. You work exactly the same thing with dodge, burn, all that, and you actually work the same as in a lab, analog lab, okay? It means you don't want to show reality. You want to show what you feel, what you think. It's important to show what you want to transmit, okay? And there are also the bokeh alcoholic. It's not the same thing bokeh than short depth of field, okay? But the bokeh, the out of focus part, more and more people love it. Why? Because it doesn't look like reality. If you speak to me on the street, I don't have a kind of soup in the back, okay? You see more or less sharp behind me, okay? But in a photo with a short depth of field, the bokeh is there, really creamy behind me, and this gives something completely different from reality. And this is actually the difference between capturing and creating. I'm creating a special look that doesn't exist in nature. And also more and more people want to work in black and white, because we don't see in black and white. Well, most of us don't see in black and white. But when we work in black and white, we want to express contrast, feelings, different things. And this is probably why black and white is coming back stronger. It never left, but it's more and more black and white pictures, because these people want to speak about creativity. And obviously, when you center yourself on creativity, you realize that you don't need the latest cameras, you don't need the latest technology. Sometimes it will help, but normally what helps you is your ideas, your creativity, your feelings, your mood, all that. And no camera will give that to you, okay? No camera. Some will help you more or less, but to show what you want, but it doesn't help you getting the idea, okay? And this is why these big brands like the big three, Sony, Canon, Nikon, they need you to believe that technology is the key to success, okay? So they need to kill all the artistic side of photography. They need to kill it. They want to show you perfection, but art is not about perfection. Technology is about perfection, okay? So this is why they need to kill it, because if they don't kill it, then you realize you don't need to change cameras. What you have is probably fine. Not the one from last year, maybe the one from 10 years ago is also fine for what you want to do, okay? So they don't want artists, they want technical freakies, okay? They want people who really want to have the latest, the fastest, the highest, the whatever host, okay? They don't want artists, they want technicians, okay? And this is why they need to kill art. If they don't kill art, you don't need to change your camera. If you don't change your camera, this company will disappear. Obviously, they all need to sell cameras. Okay, so even smaller companies like Fujifilm, Olympus, Ricoh, Hasselblad, they need you to change cameras, buy cameras from time to time, otherwise they will disappear. But these big companies are into such a spin about selling that they really need to sell more and more and more to survive. And for that, they don't want artists, they want techno freaks. Okay, well, this was my point of view. I don't know if you agree. Leave a comment and tell your opinion, okay? I hope you like the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The small button down here and also a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. I'll also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links to everything I've tested by K&F Concept and Sandmark, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.